what happens when you live longer than you're financially prepared for. There has been research that has been released by the Retirement Benefits Authority in Kenya, among other research that has been done on the Kenyan population. And it has been estimated that Kenyans retire and can only live for 7 years from the money that they have put towards their pension. Only 7 years. So if you live longer than 7 years, so if you retire at 60, by 68, you do not have any penny in the way of a pension. You would not have any income. Then the same research has noted that the replacement rate of income in retirement, that means that if you are earning 100,000 Kenya shillings per month on retirement, you are only able to replace 30% of that income in retirement. So you can only be able to, most people averagely have only been able to generate 30,000 every month from their pension or from their investments in retirement. So 30,000 from getting used to a lifestyle of 100,000 Kenya shillings per month to as low as 30,000 Kenya shillings per month. Yes, people are not replacing their income in retirement to the exact figure. You are supposed to at least maintain your lifestyle as you go into retirement, or even exceed it a little bit as you take care of the inflation that is going to go on getting higher as you age. It's also important to note that during this time, medical bills go up, because as you grow older, your body becomes weaker, your immune system becomes more compromised, you are more susceptible to diseases, opportunistic diseases, lifestyle diseases, and other diseases that come just because of old age. You might also have mobility issues that may require you to have special equipment, to have special care to help you become more mobile. You might need to do things to help with your medical. The other thing is unemployment. Maybe your children are not yet employed and you need to support them. Maybe they still live with you, so you have to feed them. You have to continuously provide for them as if they were still children. To add salt to injury, you are going to probably support your grandchildren. If your children are not working, if your children are not productive, then you have to support your grandchildren. When you support your grandchildren through education, through feeding them, through staying with them, the finances that you have kept for retirement actually go down even faster. Because as a grandparent, you will not go as you see, you will not continue life as usual as your grandchild is not going to school. So people are not investing enough towards their retirement. I talked to several people over time, and many people still have the same explanation. I'm still young. I'm still young at this age. I cannot think about retirement when I am 30. I cannot think about retirement when I am 35. I'm still young. There's so many years, so much life ahead of me. Remember, if you're 30, you're only 30 years away from retirement and from facing these dire conditions in your life. And if you do not do anything that the ordinary person is doing, you will still be faced by the same problem of 30% replacement, can't live beyond 7 years of your life, continuously having to set up businesses that fail. Because it has been noted that 70% of businesses that have been set up by retirees who have never engaged in businesses before actually fail. 70%, they fail. So if you are planning to set up this business, know that the odds are actually against you. So if you are too ambitious and thinking you will start a business that is going to flourish, give you loads and loads of money with little investment, then you have a shock waiting for you. You need to work on it now. Because remember, every shilling that you invest in your 20s is worth 2 in your 30s. It's worth 4 in your 40s. It is worth 10 in your 50s. It's worth 20 in your 60s. Every single shilling you put in your 20s is worth 20 in your 60s. Think about it. Why do you want to start doing it at 60 and have to put so much, so fast, too much pressure? You're looking at a deadline. You're always constantly under pressure. You have not taken care or taken advantage of compound interest. compound interest is your friend. Even the wisest man that is said to have lived, Isaac Newton, said that compound interest is the seventh wonder of the world. It makes fools or bright people. Bright people earn compound interest. Foolish people pay others compound interest. You are constantly taking loans. You are constantly paying other people interest. You are constantly making other people money above the money that they have given you. And worse still, investing in things that do not make any financial values. High luxury goods, cars, and things that at a moment's notice can become useless, worthless, just like that. And you're still paying interest to others. So when somebody tells you that I cannot live without a car, they are single, they are only living alone, then of course you do not push them further, but you just know where their priorities are. You live in your 60s, you cannot maintain the same car. If you're used to an exceptionally high standard of living, one that you cannot necessarily afford, then you are going to suffer if you have to fall by 70% in terms of the replacement income that you have. And if you have been burying your head in the sand, shock will come upon you if you cannot live beyond your 7 years. So think about it. This is the picture. Your glamorous life. You are used to living in a high-end apartment in one of these posh neighborhoods in Nairobi, Upper Hill, Hurlingham, Karen, posh neighborhoods. Then your income goes away because you have now retired. Now you have to move back to the village. You're used to having a newspaper dropped to you every morning. You're used to have a cup of coffee in your favorite coffee shop. You used to have wonderful pastry, croissants, not croissant, croissants. You have to even mention it better because they are fancy. You're used to that standard of living. Then you cannot maintain paying rent, because if you're going to reduce your income by 30% and your rent was like 70% of your income, 70 to 50% of your income, and your income drops by 70%, you cannot be able to maintain that lifestyle. Then you struggle to live in Nairobi because at 30%, meaning that you have to significantly scale down. So if you never had a home, you start renting a much cheaper house, one that you will be hiding from the friends that you made as a high-class individual as you near the retirement. So you start avoiding people. Or worse still, you have to go up country, because that is where you have some land and have some home that you build in your 20s because your parents forced you to invest in it. So from getting a newspaper, getting coffee and fresh croissant, to staying in the villages where for you to have breakfast you have to milk a cow and dig some arrowroots and sweet potatoes, is going to be tough. No wonder majority of Kenyan men, especially Kenyan men, do not live beyond 10 years after retirement. Why? Because they cannot be able to maintain that lifestyle. They already get a shock once they get into retirement. Women try to fare it a little bit better because of social networks. So if in addition to all that as a man, you have lost all your social networks, all the friends that you made in high places, and now you have to make merry with your friends from the village who do not even understand your fabulous stories from the town, then you're going to have it hard. Women at least are able to live longer because they are still being productive at their late ages. They are still able to do a few things, they are still productive. They are more likely to be affected by ego and a slowdown in the money that they are making more than men. Men get into a shock as they constantly dream and desire the previous life. Stop dreaming and desiring, start achieving and growing your wealth towards retirement, because remember, a comfortable retirement is going to help you even live longer, have more options for your children, and leave an inheritance for your grandchildren. I hope that you are learning, you're growing, and becoming better in your financial affairs. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay tuned.